Max, morning, everyone. It's always a pleasure to have the opportunity to share with you here. I want to thank you for joining in and just making sure here that everything is good. Yes, everything looks good. We are online, we are live. Beautiful. Well, again, thank you for joining me here today. We're actually on our last mile. We're actually running the last segment of our 90-day run. So this is the last 30 days. Now, I'd like to, first of all, again, congratulate you and point out to the fact that some of you have been consistently watching the videos. I've been actually doing some of the assignments. And again, congratulations for that. At the end of the day, you are the recipient. Now, what I want to talk about here is day 61. And as we are getting started here, I just want to share my screen. I'd like to reference back to the training that What Master did yesterday, which was brilliant. Because what he did is that he gave you a segment. I'm obviously not going to go through it because you can go back and listen to it. But one of the things here is we're starting the new month, the month of March. And it's very possible, and I just wanted to reiterify that, is you may have to renegotiate the time with your family and your loved ones. You may have to clear up some of the distractions that occurred in the past, the past 60 days. And it's important that you also work within an accountability. This group is an accountability, right? And the fact here is we're watching. I'm paying attention, and I really really recommend that you stay the course and taking constant activities on a daily basis, even if you feel like nothing's happening and it's not changing. And it's as I explained in a training on day 59, I think it was, is the changes are occurring inside. I was doing a mentoring session this morning. I was explaining to this wonderful lady that, there's a lot of changes that are occurring inside of you, in your mindset and the way you're thinking and the way you're moving forward, which will reflect your results. But unfortunately, it's not reflecting your results. And because we're so used to measure our results, as I did talk on my segment here on day 59, is we based all our emotion on our results and we're forgetting the process that we're getting into. And of course, if there's anything that resonates for you here that makes sense or that you like, please give us a thumbs up, give us some hearts, let us know we're doing well. We do appreciate that. And let's do that for all the speakers. We really do appreciate it. So thank you for being here. So now what's important here is to keep in mind and go back to the segment of what Master did, which is very important, which we're doing with the first week here, the following week. Oh, thank you for the hearts. Makes me feel warm. Then the third week, the fourth week, and then the fifth week. So again, what's going on is the reason why there's a fifth week is because a lot of the work that's going to happen throughout this week is going to be kind of rippling towards the last week. It's really interesting. You do a lot of work and you may not see a lot of results while you're doing a lot of work, but suddenly, whoop, the results are coming in. An example is when Tammy and I travel in different markets, what goes on, and let me just switch over here. As we travel in different markets, what happens is we work for days in a row, in a week in a row, and then just on the point where we're about to leave to another country, it just happens that now the momentum is there. And I wish that we were there on that day when the momentum started, but that's the way things are. That's the way things work. So you work, you do your daily activities, and eventually the momentum starts. It's not starting when you start. It's going to start if you stay the course in doing the daily activities. So day 61 today is what you focus on is a big deal. I know there's a lot of things going on around the world. Sometimes it feels like the world is like in such a mess. You look everywhere. One, it's COVID. The other thing is the restrictions, and the other thing is inflation, and the other thing is now these two countries are fighting, and now it's causing a huge impact on the economy. And we're looking at all of this, and my message is don't get all wrapped up on the details like that, because I assure you that 2, 3, 4, 5 years from now, it'll be news. And it'll be a blimp on the market. And by that time, some of us continued and we just went through new heights. So don't get all wrapped up into the big deals, Because what you focus on and choose to focus your energy on, it's where your results will be reflected upon. So earlier when I talked about the segment that what Master did on his training over here, is what's important here is when you are booking your appointments, book them as soon as possible. As soon as possible. Don't turn around and says, well, when do you think you'll have a time? See, when we're over here and we're doing the follow-up or after the presentation, and then we get into the closing segment over here, right? So what's important here is you need to ask yourself, are they ready? One of the typical question is a scale from 1 to 10, 10 to be the highest, being ready. Number 7, usually if you reach a number 7, I know I can sign these folks. I know I can sign these people because 7 is close enough to a 10. So what's going on here, I keep saying the hearts, I'm getting distracted. Thank you. I really appreciate that. So what's happening here is, what's happening is the moment when you are actually prospecting and following up and doing, try not to book it at the end of the month or 3 weeks from now. Book it as soon as possible. This expression is hit the iron while it's hot, because when it gets cold, it doesn't bend anymore in the way you want to shape it. You understand? So that's the reason is you want to book it as soon as possible. Okay. And this is what we're talking about over here. Okay. And this is focused scheduling and many appointments as possible. Very important. Invite them to a tool, to a Zoom presentation, whatever is the next step for them to evaluate what it is that you want them to get into. The tools could be a video that you created, which is often better if you happen to be dealing with people that know you, like you, trust you. But if you don't have a tool, you're not ready to record yourself at the moment, then I do recommend that you focus on using company tool or a tool that someone else did. And this is what Tammy and I have worked so hard, and many of the leaders have worked so hard to make this available to you to help you build your business. We really care for you more than you'll ever know. We want you to be successful. We know that sometimes things are difficult, and that's why we make these tools available for you. So, and then focus, as I said, focus on the quantity, right? The quality is as important as the quality. See, the quantity will make up in the lack of experience that you may have. Okay, so it's important that you constantly move on to the next person, and not wait all your hopes and dreams on that one person. God forbid if they turn around and they don't see it, your will falls apart. No, that's not how the way you build your business. It's great to have some great influencers, but if they're not interesting now, doesn't mean it won't be interesting tomorrow. The thing is, you got to follow up and do the process. And in the meantime, you're talking to 10 to 30 to 20 other, 20, words not coming, 15, 20, 30 people, and you line them up in your funnel. I get excited sometimes and I kind of stumble in my words. So this is important, is focus on scheduling as many people as possible. And this is what this means over here. Number 1. See, number 2 is allow yourself to restart every now and then. And sometimes all you need is to redefine your thinking. Okay. And this is important that we keep that in mind. So what happens here is some people will embark in a journey with you, and then they feel stuck. I'm sure you'll recognize that. I'm sure you've dealt with a lot of people within your organization and they feel stuck. They just need to reframe. So what's important is that you need to sit down with them and kind of start revisiting their goals and their dreams and the activities. And sometimes it's just a conversation with them to know that you believe in them. And you remind them of the big possibility, the future of what Max International can bring into your life and the life of your families. And often what happens is that it kind of reframe the thinking process into the right track, in the right direction. And that's why mentoring is so important. That's why being part of a group is so important. That's why the Crown Diamond Global Impact is so important, because it is a group where you can stay accountable, you can stay connected, you can stay plugged in. And folks, it doesn't mean that you can't restart again, take a break for a month or two. When it comes to take a break, I don't mean take a break building your business, but taking a break from this 90-day run so you can breathe a little bit and kind of benefit from some of the work that you've done, doesn't mean you can't restart all over again. That's what makes it fun, because we documented this 90-day program for the past 60 days, 61 days right now. And guess what? We are going to make that available in our team websites. And every one of us, every leaders that are here, this is freeware. Everybody can access that stuff. You can put it into your website and create a training around this 90-day run. I don't know if you realize how powerful what I'm telling you is. Okay, so you just got to reshape your thinking and kind of organize yourself. It's not going to be sunny and beautiful days every day. Sometimes it'll be rainy day or windy days. Okay, we certainly get that a lot, especially cold days and back in North America, especially on the East Coast. Okay, so the other aspect that's important here as we keep moving forward, okay, here, let me just turn around. We talk about this one. Let me see, go full screen here. So the next one is, the key is to focus on what you can control. Focus on what you can control. Very important over here. So the objective is you can't control, how many people will be, for example, on stage 4, which is how many people are going to sign up. You can't control that because that'll be up to them. But what you can control is how many people you will choose to talk to. How many people will you actually communicate and share the information with, or prospect, or let them know about the existence of what we have to offer? So you cannot control, how someone may feel about network marketing, but you can control how you choose to educate them in the process of understanding the benefits of this incredible industry, right? Focus on the conversation, invitation, and filling the calendar, right? So you're constantly making conversation, you're constantly making invitation to watch whatever it is that they are at the stage that you feel they're into towards your goal, and then book them. Book them on a Zoom call, book them on a phone, on a WhatsApp call or a phone call, whatever that is that works for you, okay? Now, there's something that's also very important, is that there are some people that are really living in the past, and they keep repeating the old story over and over and over and over and over and over. Am I saying this enough? And what's happening is that they're dwelling in this negative environment. And that's why the call starts, what you focus on is a big deal. So let go of the past. Forgive yourself if there's some things that you did, or forgive whoever you feel might have done wrong by you. Maybe it was not intentional, but move forward, look forward. Because never forget that we do have a product that can really, really help the world. And we get compensated for telling the world about it instead of feeding the fat cats. Is there some challenges when it comes to our governments and the things they impose and taxes? Yes, they are. But remember, the company pays you for doing the work by telling others about it. Focus on the things that matters. Very important. Okay? So the key is to pass on the experiences from past failures and challenges to the activities that you're going today. See, don't use the past as a weapon against you, but use the past as an opportunity to learn and evolve. See, those become stories, and their stories are going to be part of relating to your prospect when it comes to the feel, fail, found. I know how you feel because I felt the same way. And then you can share that sub stories that you went through. And then you turn around and it says, but what I found, if I focus on this, if I do this, when I consume that, when I did this, my life has completely changed. And you're helping people to focus on the right aspect of where they need to focus on. Okay, so I spent a bit of time on that because it's very, very, very important. Now, the other thing I want to come back to is, there are some people who really are pondering about the past. And this is the thing is, again, what you focus on is a big deal. It's very important. See, there are some people that focus on what they can't control. Why focus there? You can't control it. Can you pray for them? Yes, absolutely. Can you do things to maybe support? Absolutely, you can. But don't dwell in that space. It will not serve you well. I guarantee you that. It will not serve you well. And there's some people that focuses on what they can control. That's where you want to be. that's where you want to be. Now, in the same time, that there are also some people that live in the present. And what I mean by that is they constantly do, work, and they have no direction. And because of that, what's happening is sooner or later, they're going to start evaluating their results and all the work they're doing, and they're just not happy. And then you start looking elsewhere for answers, not realizing the problem is not the opportunity. The problem is how they think and how they proceed about doing things without reviewing what they're doing and how to evolve from that. Hope this makes sense. Okay, so it's okay. I mean, of course, we're living in the present, but again, be conscious of what you focus on and the direction you're taking, and constantly plan, do, and review. And the last point, it's also very important, right? There are some people that are living in the future and they are paralyzed by what if, and they live in fear. That is also a challenge. So you don't want to live in fear. What you want to do is you want to be inspired by the future, the possibilities. Because I promise you, the sun will rise tomorrow, regardless of how the day is going on today. It's a cycle. And at 56 years old, I have seen the cycle going up and down, then up and down, then up and down, then up. It is what we call the cycle of life. And sometimes there's some things that we're going through right now that maybe we've never gone through in our lives, in the past 56 years of my life. I've never thought some things like this would happen, but hey, it happens. How do you react? Do you react to this, or do you adjust to it to be able to compensate and evolve from that? Because I guarantee you some people will. So use the future as an inspiring possibility. That's how my mind works. That's how I focus. I focus in the future, and I'm also an optimist. I like to think always, what is the best thing that can happen? I'm aware. I don't put my head in the sand. I'm aware of the challenges that are around me, but I don't focus on that. I don't give a moment of thought to poison my attitude towards the future because of what's currently happening or what happened in the past. This will be used in my story to help others relate into coming with me with this wonderful journey. The objective is to live in the moment, to use the future as a source of inspiration, and to learn from the past. I hope this resonates well for you. And the one thing that you need to also be aware of is value time. Value time. Respect time. Do not focus on the fact that you're running out of time. You have no control over time, but you do have control on what you choose to do with that time. And that's the message today, is what you focus on is a big deal. I hope I was able to give you some insight today. And again, I want to thank you for attending. And if you happen to be here while I was doing this live, thank you. And if you're watching this later on, you know what? Share your feedback. Give us some insight on what I share resonated for you. And we're always open to constructive criticism if this can help us be better to deliver a better message. So, folks, my name is Chris Gingras. I'm a Crown Diamond with Max International. It was a pleasure to have the opportunity to share with you. And again, I hope I was helpful. Bye for now.